just want to show you guys like an overview of the project so you can kind of get an idea of like what the whole point of the project is and feel confident doing it at your own pace, okay? So you should see this project overview on your Google Classroom. You'll notice that there's one checkpoint due every week, every Friday at 4 o'clock. So we'll grade them after 4, and then we'll return them every Tuesday so you can make revisions and stuff as needed. So each week you have a checkpoint due, and then the last week you have the whole week to finish your final product, okay? I also want to point out to you guys that now we're only focusing on the plot focus area. So if you're finished with plot, then you don't have to worry about focus areas. And if you haven't finished plot, you don't have to take that assessment daily because you're also going to be working on your checkpoints. So you can take notes whenever you feel like it, if you finish checkpoints or if you're ready to take the assessment, you can just email me then. You don't have to worry about notes every day. Okay? Okay, no questions so far. Great. Okay, so the whole project is based on Cinderella, and I want to kind of give you guys an idea of why. So why is it good to read fairy tales? They boost our imagination and also cultural literacy, because as you guys will see later, fairy tales are used around the world, like the same fairy tales are used often. Oh, great. I'm glad that we can annotate while I go. All right. They help teach us right from wrong. They have morals always. They'll help you develop your critical thinking. They give us hope, which I think in a time like this, it's kind of hard because it can feel kind of depressing in the world, but then fairy tales can offer us hope. And like I said, they've been around for centuries and they've been adapted by multiple different cultures. If you want to read more about that, I have an article here for you that you can read. I see someone maybe typing a question. Let me know if you have a question. Okay. There are problems with fairy tales. So let's see. Okay. So some problems with fairy tales are like, if you've ever noticed in fairy tales, the women are always like passive and they always get saved by men. It's kind of a problem, right? Marriage is always the ultimate reward. So a lot of feminists would say like, that's not good. There's lack of racial and sexual and physical diversity. So you'll notice like a lot of fairy tales, the people are white. So there's a lack of diversity there. And straight, they're all straight. The female characters usually don't have like jobs and they have to be stuck at home, or they're evil. So those are like a lot of problems with fairy tales. And the point of this project is for you to notice like, what are the good things about Cinderella? And then what are some things that you would want to change if you could? Okay. Where do we find the slides? Where are you looking at the slides right now? Not all princesses get saved. Yeah, that's true. There have been new movies where princesses haven't gotten saved. I'll share these slides with you guys after I finish the video. I'll put it on the doc. But you can't, Jeremy, can't you see it right now? Yeah, Mulan's a good one. All right. So that's the goal. The goal is, so what you're going to be doing is in checkpoint 1, you're going to be reading a classic version of Cinderella. So when I think of Cinderella, I think of, I messed up this, whatever. I think of this Disney movie with Cinderella, and she has like these cute little mice, and she has like, there's like this mean cat, and then she's a fairy godmother. And that's actually not the that's not the version of Cinderella you're going to be reading. You're going to be reading one it's called Cinderella, but it's by the Brothers Grimm. So something you should know about the Brothers Grimm is like, there are these 2 German brothers, and they write all their fairy tales like, and like turn them and make them kind of gross. So the point of that is because they want you to learn a lesson from it. So when you read it, actually read the fairy tale that I linked on the checkpoint for you, because it's not the same as the movie and there's a lot of differences. Okay, great. Any questions so far? Looks like just a lot of chat. That's fine. Okay, cool. So this week you're going to read a classic version of Cinderella. It's on the checkpoint. It's actually pretty, I kind of like it because it is kind of gross and it's kind of fun. So there you go. Then next week, I want you guys to read an alternate version of Cinderella. So, like I said, they've been changed into all different cultures, and like there's been, even in the last couple years, there's been like 4 or 5 Cinderella movies made. So next week you're gonna pick one of either these 3 films or one of these texts to read and analyze. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys that option because I like when, oh, sorry. Because I like to be able to like watch a movie during class, as you guys know. So you can pick a Cinderella story, which is like with Hilary Duff, and it's a really good, I love that movie, so you should definitely watch it. It's on Netflix. You could pick the 1950 version of Cinderella, which a lot of people have seen, and I think I linked the whole thing on YouTube for you. And then there's one called Another Cinderella Story with Selena Gomez that's also on YouTube. If you don't want to watch a movie, because that would take probably longer because movies are like 2 hours, then you could read the French version of Cinderella, the Iraq version of Cinderella, the African version, or the Chinese version. Okay? Any questions so far about checkpoint 2? Great. Okay. Then in checkpoint 3, you're going to create your own version of Cinderella. So the point of this is I want you to be thinking like, what about Cinderella do I kind of wish was different? And then what things do I have to keep to make it still Cinderella? So there's like certain things that have to be there, right? She has to be treated badly. She has to go somewhere and meet a love interest. She has to be overlooked by her sisters and her mom. Okay, but then maybe it could change. Maybe it's a boy instead of a girl as Cinderella. Maybe maybe her fairy godmother is just like her best friend. Maybe instead of being white, she's a different race, right? Okay, you're gonna brainstorm that in checkpoint 3. Then in checkpoint 4, you're gonna make it into like a comic strip on a website that I linked on Summit for you. Okay, that's basically it for the project. Every day I'll have these office hours open for you. So I'll probably talk for like 20 minutes, and then I'll have just like open time for you guys to ask questions for like 40 minutes. And then I'll always link it down below on the document for you. So there's a document on my Google Classroom, which is probably how you got this link. And I'm always gonna put the video and the slides on there for you every day. I'll update it. Okay? Any questions? What if we already watched the movie? If you already watched the movie, you can do checkpoint 2. So what's great about this, even though like we're not together and that's very sad, the nice thing is that you can do the checkpoints and the final product at your own pace. So I'm gonna grade the checkpoints on the date that I say, but if you wanna work on checkpoint 2 this week and checkpoint 3 this week, then you're more than welcome to do that. Okay? Great, okay, I'm gonna end the video and then let you guys ask questions.